Thanks. Thank you for the intro. Sorry, I'm a big believer in repurposing content, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And so I'm like, if I'm standing up here presenting to you guys, I'm going to record it so I can put it on YouTube, and I'm going to put it on social, and I'm going to put it on my blog, and I'm going to put it a whole bunch of places because I'm already here. May as well record it, right? Stick on a microphone, put it on the little thing. Good to go, right? What do you guys think about when you think about marketing? And I don't want you to say like what it is. I want you to say what the emotion is that you think about when you think of marketing. All right, go. And say your name along the way and we'll kind of go around. Hey, Kate.
Early speak. I'll get down later.
Yeah, procrastination. Anybody procrastinate with their marketing? Yeah, go ahead. Clueless. Yeah, Joan.
Tell everybody now, right away.
Yeah, like urgency, but like maybe inappropriate, or maybe sometimes inappropriate urgency, right?
Like maybe not even think it out.
Right, not think it out, or like, and this happens, who gets the idea like, oh my God, I forgot to post this, I was supposed to post today, and it's 11:30 at night, but I'm gonna post it anyway. Right, but no one's up, I mean, I'm not up at 11:30 at night, and like, if you do it then, nobody's gonna see it, right? So sometimes you have to force yourself to wait. So that's good. That's good. Yeah, go ahead.
True to my own word.
Give me the emotion behind that. Does that make you feel icky, or does that make you feel proud, or does that make you feel like
I'm being too much?
Yeah.
Discomfort. Discomfort.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Or disagree.
Yeah. Uncomfortable. Yeah. We don't want to be spammy weirdos. Right? How many people know someone, like one of the, like no offense to any MLM people in the rooms, but anybody who's like done an MLM and they like overdid it and you're like, you're so, right? And we don't want to be those people. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead back here.
I don't know what an MLM is. Anyway, I was thinking of being one that is feeding into marketing.
Yeah.
Just feeling frustrated and angry because it's just like phone messages or stuff in the mailbox.
Yeah.
Thinking, it's too much.
Yeah. We see, studies show we see at least 10,000 marketing messages every single day.
What?
And it's got to be, I mean, especially, now that we're doing social media, it's got to be more, right? And so we see these, in our mailbox, driving down the street, on the radio, on our phones, right? I'm standing in front of you with a whole bunch of marketing, right? And so we're marketed to all day long, and it can get overwhelming. So how do you do it in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming, not only to you, but to your audience? I will say, as a small business, the chances of you actually getting to the point where you're overwhelming your audience means you're doing it right. Because it's very, 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 very difficult to do that because we don't have the money to send out mailers, to have a Super Bowl commercial, right? Even if you have a Super Bowl commercial, you don't want to run it just once, right? You got to run it over and over and over and over and over again. Or even if you do ads. So yeah, it can be a lot. We as a society are overwhelmed with information, and we're overwhelmed with digital marketing. And I'm actually going to talk about this today because I did a training this morning, and we were talking about the rise of in-person events. So, everything stopped during COVID, and it's really taken us a few years to come back out of it. I thought we were out, but when I look at sort of the way that 2025 is shaping up, I think we're finally out of that, right? We have this deep longing for in-person connection. And that's especially true among Gen Z. So if you're selling to Gen Zs, that is especially true, but they want both. So, hi, welcome. Okay, so I'm just gonna come over here. A little bit about me, or a lot about me, all on one slide. So I am I'm a marketing mentor. Most importantly, this is my crazy blended family. I'm married. I've been married for 2 years to my hockey coach husband. He has 2 adult kids. We've got a daughter-in-law and a grandbaby. And then this is my son, who is quickly becoming taller than me, who's 14. So we've got a really fun kind of blended family. And this is our sort of every now and then stepdog. So I also run my own a networking group. I forgot to send it, but Community Connections. A few people have been here that are in Community Connections. You know, it's one of those like no fees. We just hang out and do Zoom every couple of weeks together. I'm a marketing mentor, so I work with people primarily one-on-one. I've been in a bunch of news outlets. I'm a photographer as well, so shout out to any of my I can't see any of our photographers in the house. Oh, yeah, there she is. And I'm a photographer as well. And then I have 2 different podcasts. And we're gonna talk about my podcasts a little bit more later on today. But I have 2. One is called Your Marketing Mentor, and that's where I share all sorts of marketing advice. And then I just launched yesterday a new podcast called Heart of the Hustle, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but that's an interview podcast. So, all right, what we're gonna talk about today is I'm gonna give you 5 growth hacks for 2025. And we're gonna talk about 5 things, because it's 5 growth hacks. So the first one is get obsessed with being of service to your clients. We'll talk about this more in a second, but when you start worrying that you're going to be a spammy weirdo, find ways to be of service and you won't feel like you're just spamming people, right? If you go and try to create content that is trying to be valuable to other people, you won't feel, super weird and gross about it. The second thing is to make it personal. Third, we're going to talk about how to create a consistent visibility strategy. Who here? Yeah, I love it. All right. In the back, somebody went, Who has a hard time staying consistent in their marketing? Yeah. I know there's more people, they just don't want to admit it. Yeah, it's hard. So we're going to talk about how to create a consistent visibility strategy, making it easy to do business with you. Have you guys ever gone to one of those sites and like you really want to buy the thing and there's then you have to log in and you have to give them a passcode and then they're going to send you a thing and then you need the code and then you need a thing and then your credit card doesn't work and then you're only allowed to, right? You want to make it really easy to do business with you. And then the 5th thing is to fall in love with AI. Anybody using AI yet? Okay, good. Yeah, it's a little, it's scary, but it's also really cool. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well.
What it's embedded in your channel.
Yeah.
It's all embedded now.
Yeah.
So, and your website usually is embedded. And so it'll say something arrow in it. Here's what you should say. I'm going to be white.
Yeah.
I say what I want to say. It's the only way to say it. There's a lot of embedded you may not even know.
Yeah.
But it's in the tools we're using.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of them are great and some of them aren't. You'll see an example later of when AI failed me a little bit today, but I wanted to put it in there because I thought it was funny. All right, so the first hack is to get obsessed with being of service to your clients. And the reason why I say it this way is every single thing in your business should have a singular obsession, and that is serving your clients. Not making money, not selling your products, but serving your clients. Because the way you make money is by serving your clients. But we want to come from a place of service first. Why? Because it allows us to talk to our clients from their needs, from their perspectives. Right? So how different would it be? I'm thinking about let's talk about Botox, right? We have we're going to inject bovine. What is it? Isn't it a bovine, a toxin? We're going to inject a toxin into your forehead with small needles that's going to flatten the surface of your forehead, and we're going to offer that for $800. Okay, well, that's cool. I want a flat forehead. That's cool. What if I said instead, are you worried about aging? Do you feel like you just don't look the way you used to, and you're sitting on Zoom all day long, and all you see is that wrinkle between your eyes? She gets it. I do too, right? All you see is that wrinkle between your eyes.
I tried brownies this week.
I don't know what that is. You're going to have to tell me later. She just introduced me to something else. Okay, so how great would it feel to not have to see any of that. We can offer you that. No more wrinkles. Come visit us. Think about the difference. You're talking about the same product, but one description is coming from your perspective. Hey, this is what I sell. And the other one comes from the perspective of, this is the service that I can give to you. You want your marketing to come from your client's desires, not from your desires. Because you're the one selling, you know the solution, but they often don't even know their solution or their problem. They just know that they're uncomfortable somehow. So you want to hit their problem right where it is, right? So I'm gonna pick on you, Leander, because I know you. So Leander could say, dating, one-on-one dating coaching, so that you are more comfortable being on dates, and later in life, maybe. Did you focus on later in life? Sure. All right. So, but how different could it be to say, are you done with being lonely? Are you ready to find the love of your life who can love you and support you so that when you put your head down at the end of the night, you can look over and not be alone? I want that. Who's this Leandra lady and how do I hire her, right? So we want to really deeply and obsessively understand our clients and their problems, and then all of our marketing, everything you do and say should be connected to that. Because often someone will say, like, what product should I offer? I'm like, I don't know, what do your clients need? And they're like, oh, what are their problems? Oh. So get obsessed with what your clients' problems are, right? So put their needs at the center of your business in the products, in the marketing, in the way that you deliver your products, in everything that you do. The second thing is, intimately know their struggles. And also you want to intimately understand where they go to look for information or to buy something like you. So one of the questions I get asked all the time is, which social media platform is right for me? Or what's the one marketing thing I should do? And I say, I don't know. Who are your clients? And where do they hang out and look for information about your kind of product? Because it might make more sense for you to not do social media or not do speaking at events or something like that. It just depends on your clients and where they hang out and look for information. And that's a very different, right? We're looking at it through their lens. And I'll give you a good example. So let's say you go to the dentist and the dentist says you need a root canal. Anybody had a root canal? I hear they're awful. Okay, so the dentist says to you, hey, you need a root canal. You're sitting in the chair. You're like, great, how much is that gonna cost me? So now you need to, and they go, we don't do it. We don't do that here. You need to find a endodontist or whatever they're called. What do you do? What's the first thing you do?
That's perfect.
Oh no, nothing. Pretend like it doesn't exist, which is what I've done with one of my teeth for a long time. And then God brought me a client who's a dentist who just literally said, you are coming to my office and I'm not charging you. And I was like, I don't go to the dentist. Yes, that's the first choice, is to not do anything. But no, what would you do? What's the next thing that you do?
Recommendation.
Yeah. Recommendation, and then Google it, right? Yeah. The first thing you're gonna do in that situation is to ask for a referral. You're not gonna leave, not ask your dentist for a referral, and then go on to Frisco Moms and be like, hey, who knows a good person? You're in pain, you need it now, right? And you don't know if any of those people know what they're talking about. You might Google it, right? But you're gonna get a whole list of people. First thing generally you're gonna do is to ask for a referral. So if I were the endodontist, I wouldn't do any social media. I'd have a good website. I'd be on Google My Business, and I would spend all my marketing time and dollars sucking up to dentists, because that's where my business is gonna come from. Now, how did I know that? I knew that because I thought about it from the customer's perspective. Not only what do they need, but where do they go to get information like me? So I can spend a ton of money on hiring a social media manager, spend, $2,000 to $5,000 a month, get this big fancy marketing campaign, and 99% of my business is going to come from dentists. So take all that money, create galas, do events, right? Tables at functions. So that's ties in with that, being obsessed with understanding exactly what your clients are doing. Then the other piece of this is creating marketing that serves your client. One of the things that we get really annoyed with in marketing is when somebody's like, hey, buy my stuff. Hey, buy my stuff, right? Buy my vitamins. Those are some of the MLM. Buy my vitamins, buy my whatever, right? And we're like, why do I even need your stupid vitamin? Like, I don't need vitamins, I already have vitamins. It's because they're not being of service. So if you feel weird about doing content and you don't want to be too much and you don't want people to find you annoying, the best way is to create content that is of service. So I'm creating content right now that's of service, right? Some of you may never buy anything from me, and I'm cool with that. But I spend 75% of my time in marketing teaching people how to do marketing, because at some point, a good portion of those are going to say, hey, I need to know more, right? The hour that you spent with me at MillHouse wasn't enough. I'm going to need more. Right? But I'm not up here selling you. I'm like, here's my thing, buy my thing, right? I'm here being of service. And that will lead to business. And it makes me feel good, right? I feel good about being here because I know that even if I never see any of you all again, I at least hopefully gave you something that might push your business forward a little bit.
So for an artist, I see you're thinking about how are you serving find your audience. So if I want anything in turquoise, I'm going to find where all the turquoise people are and how can I show them the turquoise, the best turquoise ever. So in serving your art, to use customers, that's more a highway. How would you deal with this? How can we transform the space you're working or living in where it feels inviting or warm or bright or cheerful or whatever? How
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where the audience is instead of here's my art.
It's how is it going to make them feel, or what role in their lives is it going to serve, right? If it's, hey, you just moved into a new house and are you overwhelmed? You have this big new space, you don't know what to do. I can do a custom piece for you, right? You do custom pieces. I could do a custom piece for you. Here's an example of what I might do in this space. Here's an example of how I created a custom piece for this room, right? What's the need? The need is I don't want to look at this giant wall. And I also am fussy about my colors, and I also want to, but I don't want to spend a ton of money. Like, what does that look like? And I feel weird, do I have to go to all these stores in the mall? I don't even know where to shop for these things, right? So it's looking at their overwhelm. I have an easy to find studio. It's right in McKinney. You can come and I'll teach you. You could bring me your colors, right? That's seeing it from their perspective versus like, look at this beautiful piece of art I made, which is great. But it's not coming at it from their perspective, right? What are the things that they need? And I'm picking on you, Robin, a little bit because I know that you do.
This is a big problem.
Yeah, you do custom pieces, right? And so I have in my house like this giant, because we have big walls here in Texas. Big, big, big walls, right? Like this is a big piece. Back east, we wouldn't have room for any of these things. And so how the heck do you fill it? And so that's why everybody's got like these gallery wall things, right? I would do Pinterest like crazy, right? Hey, you got this giant wall. What to put on a giant wall? That's probably one of the biggest things that people, Google, especially at Pinterest. So I would do Pinterest with like, what do I put on this giant wall? What do I put on those walls that are really tall, right? Those are the customer challenges. So that's an example.
Andres.
Okay, so that's number one. Anybody have any more questions? You're gonna like start noodling on it. It'll start, you're like, oh, now I get it, right?
Instead of saying, what do I have to offer? It is what do clients that are interested in need?
Mm-hmm.
And then how do I package what I have to offer in?
Yeah. And how do I talk to them in a way that's about them, right? It's like dating. All right, Leandra. So a guy comes, or a girl, whatever, comes to the date and they're like, my name is Jim. I have an MBA, a BMW, a big house. I make this much money. I've been told that I'm really good in bed. Okay?
That's half your thing. So, yeah.
Right. That's half her clients. Okay. Yeah. You need me. Right? And so a guy comes on a date with you, or a girl, whatever, and they come on a date with you and they say that, you're going to be like, Now, if they say, tell me about you. What do you got going on in your life? Oh, wow, that's really interesting. Tell me more. Oh, I get that. I've got something similar to that, right? Oh, yeah, I went and I got my master's too, right? It's a conversation where you're learning about them and then responding back. It's not you going in and selling like that guy did, right? So think about it like dating. Like, would you, are you going to go in and be like, hi, I'm like, those people at the networking meetings who are like, maybe there's somebody right now who's got in their pocket their business card and they're like, hi, my name is Sherry, and I'm a marketing mentor, and here's the things that I offer. Here's my brochure. Would you like to sit down and set up a meeting? Right, we've all had those. But no, don't be that person, right? How are you? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And that's a good segue into the next piece, which is make it personal. And this is there's two different pieces to this. Building really strong relationships is the essence of a powerful brand. If you look at any powerful people, they have a network of people around them who lift them up, who refer them, who give them advice. And I think that this is something that we really lost during COVID, but it is coming back. Anybody heard kind of the discussion a little bit before we started? It's really coming back, and especially for Gen Z, they really, really want both a combination of in-person relationship. They want to feel like they are in relationship with their brand. Now, the challenge with that is you can't be in relationship with a whole bunch of people at once. If you want to talk about that, again, talk to Leandra.
Yes.
That was funny. Nobody laughed. That one totally bombed. But it's one of those things that you need to have a relationship with people. They need to feel like they are in relationship with you. They need to feel like they understand who you are. And, even if it's just a little, it doesn't mean you have to go to coffee with people all the time or whatever, but even if it's just being personal friends on Facebook, right? Sending them a little note, hey, congratulations on this new thing, or hey, you looked great when you went to that thing the other day, right? Facebook is a great place to do that, right? To build a relationship with people. So the other component of that is showing up in a way that's very authentic to who you are and not feeling weird about it. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to show pictures of your, ingrown toenail or whatever, right? Like some people take that too far, right? Have we seen those people who are building a personal brand and they overdo it? They overshare, right? We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about, this is me. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about religion unless it's part of your business, right? Don't get into the murky territory, but also if that's really important to you, okay, but just be as authentic as you can. Show a little bit of your humanity. Show pictures of your kids when you stand up in front of a room, right? Make an off-color joke if that's your thing, right? Do something that shows that you are an authentic person. No one wants to buy from an automaton. Right? I'm in this one networking group, and there's a woman who just comes in and she just wants to sell. Right? And it's great, and I get it, but there's no hey, how are you? Right? She just goes right into it. Well, my product, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay. Good? Did you caffeinate enough today? So showing a little bit of that human side, and it is a very tricky balance for many people, and one of the things that I work on the most with people when I work with them one-on-one.
When we started that house,
yeah.
joined Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
And then people from Chamber of Commerce, you got the list of organizations, and so we'd like to come over and see MillHouse. Yeah, and we'd love to have you come over. And they were selling insurance. They
Yeah.
And so I learned, and we went through, I don't know how many hours with people, and it's like,
Yeah.
"We actually don't have money to pay for you." They've never heard from me again. So
Right.
after that, I learned when people from Chamber of Commerce would call, they don't anymore because my presentation are not. Are you looking? Are you trying to sell a product? Because before we have a conversation, that we don't have any money for your product, but I would love to show you where we're at. Oh, thank you so much. No, so it's that knowing that they weren't coming to build a relationship.
Yeah.
They had something to sell, and then I would spend 2 hours with someone, and it'd be a total waste of time because we can't. So, kind of doing your research even on that, learning, who you're reaching out to. Are they really your potential client rather than casting the ads like
Yeah. Yeah.
going to buy my product?
Yeah, and that's back to knowing where your clients, get referrals from, right? Are they on Facebook? Are they asking their dentist, right? Where do they find those things, and how can I make sure I'm in the right rooms for that, right? And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have coffee with someone who you're like, oh, this is a dud. I am never going to talk to this person again, and that's okay, right? We've all done it. But those in-person connections, finding a tribe of people who, you can refer, like master networks, or for some businesses are very good for that, right? Because they all refer one another. There's lots of different places. But in-person connection is becoming as important as digital marketing. And I really, again, feel like this is a switch that's happening in 2025. That we've almost gone back. It was like that before COVID, and then it was all digital all the time, and now I think we're going back to a little bit of, now it's going to be a combo of the two. So the next thing is to create a consistent visibility strategy. Who here feels like they've got a consistent marketing plan, they know exactly what they're going to do every day or at least every week?
So we did it for the first time.
Yeah.
I got a calendar out, just by itself.
Yeah.
And put everything else I do for each day.
That's awesome.
But that's taken me a lot.
Yeah, years.
A lot of work until finally get over the overwhelm of that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things that's like, it feels, it's like going to the gym, right? Like going to the gym feels really overwhelming when it's the end of the day and you're tired and where are my shoes and oh my God, I have to change and now I'm gonna have to take off my mascara and it all feels very overwhelming, and then you get there and you're like, oh, this is fine. And you feel great afterwards, right? Marketing tends to be that for many people. And so you really want to have a very clear strategy of exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and then you have to execute. Leandra and I had a coach in common, and she used to tell us that running a business is like doing the laundry. It's doing the laundry every single day. You put it in the wash, you put it in the dryer, you take it out of the dryer, you gotta fold it, you gotta put it away. It is not fun and glamorous. And for the people in this room who are probably mostly creatives, that sucks. Because we wanna create something, and we wanna keep creating something, and we don't wanna have to do the boring drudgery of it. I'm there. I get it. But I have to tell you, when she said that to me, it completely shifted my mindset, because I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to only be doing things that are creative. Now, I also follow something called the 12-week year, where I do like quarterly goals, and I am allowed every quarter to have one growth goal, one new shiny object that I'm allowed to build and create that quarter. But I'm not allowed to do more than one per quarter, because otherwise I'll have a podcasting studio, and I'll have a new thing, and I'll have this, and I'll have that, and and I'll never get anything done, because I cannot possibly execute on that many projects at once. Anybody else have like a million half-done projects? Yeah, so it's a matter of saying, here's the 2 to 3 things I'm gonna do, and I'm going to do them very, very well. And it's not a matter of doing them well for a month. Marketing takes time, it's a long game. So it's a matter of saying, I'm gonna do these 2 or 3 things well for the next year, right? So I tell people, don't do oh, I'm gonna do Facebook and I'm gonna post 3 times and then I'm gonna give up, right? It just doesn't work like that. You have to commit to a couple things and then do them until long enough. Now watch the metrics, right? But it's gonna take a minute 10,000 marketing messages a day. When there's 10,000 marketing messages a day, especially if you're doing social media, you have an algorithm that's working against you. It's hard to get people to see. And you are gonna feel like you are screaming at no one and that no one's seeing what you're doing. But I can promise you they are, as long as you're consistent, you're continuing to keep it up, right? And you're doing a good job at it. I have people, just literally this week who've hired me, I want to do one-on-one coaching with them who are like, I have been following you for 3 years and I'm finally ready. I had a woman the other day who recognized me in Target, which was like the weirdest thing. It comes with having like a very clear look. For sure. I was wearing my brand colors, I'm wearing the red glasses, the whole shtick, right? And because she's like, I've been following you on social media for years, can we finally meet, right? So think about all of the products that you want to buy and somebody needs to remind you 6 times to actually buy, right? I mean, I do it all the time. People have to do it with you, so you have to do it with them too, and it sucks. It is folding an endless pile of laundry sometimes. But if you understand that, it's okay, right? I think it helps when someone like me is willing to stand up here and go, it's folding socks, and it's sometimes not fun, and that's okay, But again, pick 2 or 3 things that you're gonna do really, really well. And then the other thing is to get help. Get help. You don't have to do this on your own. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. There's a gazillion free resources. So these are 3 resources that I have available. They're all free. This is part of my Your Marketing Mentor podcast. And there's 3 different QR codes. So I've got one that's what is a marketing mentor and do you need one? So do you want to actually have someone sit with you one-on-one? Then there's should I outsource my social media marketing? I just did that one. And that one is actually, that's not going live till Thursday. So that just takes you to my YouTube page, but that's going live on Thursday. And then should I start a podcast to promote my business? Podcasts and vodcasts are one of the easiest ways to create consistent content. And I won't go.
Is it podcast?
A vodcast. A vodcast is a video podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, most people put their podcasts on YouTube, but video is so important for marketing. So important. And podcasting is a great way to do it, but traditionally podcast just means the audio, and so we say vodcast to make people understand that it's also the video side of it too. Is everybody good with that? Come. And you can always just go, if you go to YouTube and you do Sherry Sutton Marketing, you'll find me. So the next thing is make it easy to do business with you. There's 2 pieces to this that are my 2 pet peeves. The first one is being transparent about your packaging and your pricing. And I know people are like, yeah, but they should call me and I'm gonna sell them on the value, right? That was great 20 years ago. It doesn't work now. Anybody, unless they're an older boomer, not even younger boomers, unless they're an older boomer, does not want to call you and be sold. They just want to know how much it costs and whether or not it makes sense for them. And I don't care how good a salesperson you are, if you get somebody on the phone, they don't want to buy it, they're not going to buy it. And if they do because you pressured them, is that really what you want in your business, right? So, transparency with pricing all the way. And it can be a range, right? Like I'm thinking about, we'll pick on Robin, like if do a custom piece, they can run anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 based on size. Whatever, right? At least given a general, a general. Yeah, starting at is fine. I give all my pricing online. This is how much it is, this is what you get. Because I want people to know. I find that nobody really even looks at it, but sometimes they do. I can tell you when I was a wedding photographer, that was my first entrepreneurial venture after being in the corporate world for 20 years. And I believed in this so much. I would have brides coming to me and saying, no wedding photographers will put pricing on their site, but you do, so I called you. Because I just want to know whether or not I can afford it. I don't want to have to call somebody, I don't want to fill out a form, have them email me, and then back and forth on, well, can you have coffee on Tuesday? Well, no, I can't talk on Tuesday. Well, can you talk on Wednesday? No, I can't talk on Wednesdays. Well, how about Friday morning? Like, forget it, they're gone. They are gone. You might get a boomer to do that, but you're not going to get a Gen Xer. You're definitely not going to get a millennial or a Gen Z to do that. You have to make it easy to do business with you. Have links to set up coffee so that they can set up those times, right? Do not require anyone to call. This is one of a really interesting, again, this is sort of an old mentality of like, well, I'm going to sell you on the value, right? And I'm going to maybe hurts the feelings of some of the like Sue Bryce portrait photographer business model people. But that idea of like bring people in and you're going to upsell them, sometimes it works. But is there a different business model where you can make way more money because you've been transparent with your pricing from the start and they know exactly what they're going to get? So I've done both, and I can tell you I made way more money when I was like, higher volume, lower price, know exactly what you're going to get.
I think nobody has time.
Yeah, nobody has time.
So there's no time to shop. And the thing that I notice is that, so we took up women, we will ask for price.
Yeah.
Well, men will go do research and they'll go look at all the stuff and figure out the value and the return on investment, all that. And we just ask a friend and say, who did you use?
Yeah.
Did you like them? Like I like
Yeah.
got sold.
Yep.
And then go. So I think there's a lot of the transparency of, I think Amy has told me that she did a price like starting at just to weed out people who couldn't afford her.
Yeah.
So she'd rather
100%.
or know that you just can't afford me, so don't waste my time. Is it in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what, yes.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
there's value in that too, to know that I don't do the 50-cent version.
right.
I'm the $500 version.
Yes.
So I love you, but not for 50 cents. No.
Right. And I think that's fair, right? We're being very clear in who we are and what the relationship is going to be, right? Let's be, when you go to Nordstrom, they don't hide the prices. They don't say, well, come to the store. Like, so make it, is there ways to make business easier to do with you, right? Calendly links where people can automatically set up meetings, being super transparent about pricing, allowing people to set up just a one-time meeting with you, whatever those things are, right? A way that they can just schedule online to come to the studio and check out your work, right? Those things will do a lot to grow your business.
Would you still do that on social media, or just let it draw to your website?
Yeah, you can do it. I would absolutely, on social media. Anytime I talk to someone, if it looks like we need to have a discussion, I'll be like, great. Instead of going back and forth, here's a link, set up sometime, we'll have coffee.
No, I mean...
Pricing, 100%. Yeah, transparent everywhere. Why not, right? Weed out the people who aren't going to work with you. Yeah.
So, if you were to set that up on your website with a calendar, so for me, I now already have my work calendar, my phone and family calendar, and my fitness calendar, and they're all different.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly, oh crap, I have it on this one, but I didn't have it on that one. That out.
You can sync them. So I use a program called Calendly. Calendly. This is my calendar, and it syncs with all of my son's calendar, my old business calendar, which I still have stuff that hangs out on it, right? My Sherry Sutton marketing calendar, my, all the things. Yeah.
I just wanted to say that Google does the same thing as well, because I didn't want to pay for calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Google has it's cute looking, but you can share all your calendars.
Yeah.
Times blocked off. Well, reserve Google, right? Yeah, it's a Google appointment.
Yeah, or you can, with this, if you don't have them all on Google, then you can sync all of your calendars. And so if you go onto my website and you say let's chat, you can right here hit a coffee chat with me. This goes to my Calendly link, and this knows what I'm doing. So like today, it knows that I'm not free until 4:30. Now that's stuff on my son's calendar, that's stuff on my work calendar, that's my workout calendar, right? They're all synced. And so it's an easy way to do it.
Do people do that? Schedule coffee each is on.
100% every single day.
Wow. And what's your spam level for that?
Oh, off my website? Not really. It's usually people who I've talked to. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's a concern with almost all of my clients. Like, oh my God, well, people are going to inundate me. If you're getting inundated, if people have enough time that they just want to like talk to you and you like, it just doesn't happen. It like literally never happens. I did have what happens more often with me anyway is I'll have people who want a consult and really they just want to pick my brain for free. I had one of those yesterday and I was like, this is not. And then so I just shifted to, well, if we work together, that's something we could talk about. Because I could tell right away that she's like, oh, I've talked to a whole bunch of other people. That's usually the sign of like, I'm just looking for. Yes, this is.
The difference on your virtual chat is like copy and a virtual.
So there is. On my website, it's a discovery call. Coffee chat means we're just going to have coffee. Discovery call is like you want to maybe work together. Yeah.
Was that call yesterday?
It was a discovery call.
Oh, so it was. But then she wanted just free. Okay.
She just wanted free advice. She didn't really want to hire me.
Well, where do you explain on there which one that they should get? Did they just? Yeah.
I mean, people usually get it. Honestly, people really very, very rarely do it from here. Occasionally, if they do, people know what discovery call is versus having coffee, like general. I mean, I haven't ever had to explain it. People generally get the difference. But sometimes it's like a potential partnership or, hey, how can we support each other? We're both coaches who do something similar, right? Or not non-customer, just like let's just have coffee and connect, right? Now it's more of a network connect. Maybe it's not clear. Maybe that's good feedback. Thank you.
That is sharing.
Yeah.
Welcome to doing business.
Exactly. This is me. This is
it's really you.
That is really me. This was my dad worked at AT&T, and this was done for some ad. I think it might have been for some trade show or something. So. Okay, so the fifth thing for 2025 that's, the kind of best growth hack is falling in love with AI. And this is a topic we're going to spend a whole other hour on it, and we don't have a whole other hour, but there is a lot in that. And there's already people in the room who sound like they're using it, which is awesome. This is a training that I did. You can hit the QR code and open it. It's just, none of these, like this doesn't cost any money. It's just on my podcast and vodcast. But this was a good overview of which are some of the best AIs. Guys, this is already 3 months old and probably slightly outdated, but it's still a good primer. If you guys are interested in learning how to use AI in your business, it's revolutionizing the way I do things. And I like to think I'm like a marketer, I'm a marketer, right? Like I teach marketing. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do, but it really does help. Especially I have a writing handicap, and it's more of an emotional handicap around writing. And it helps me to at least start with a draft of something, right? It helps me. My ex-husband and I are working on camps for my son for the summer. And so I did the old-fashioned thing, and I Googled best things for 14-year-olds to do during the summer, right? And found some things. And he wrote me back and said, I went to ChatGPT and they compiled a list for me, and I was like, wow, okay, this is where we are. This is where we are, right?
Every day.
Yeah.
GPT all day and every day.
All day, every day.
As soon as DeepSeek came out, oh my gosh, the 24 hours, my brother, my nephews, everyone was like, oh my gosh. And so now there's the whole, what's the difference between the two? It's one is here's built on top of the other one. Yeah. Right. Still in technology, but yeah.
I know. Besides that. So this is This is a picture I asked the AI image creator in Canva to create an image of a redhead with bangs, with red glasses, and I wanted like a robot-y kind of thing to represent AI and like have them looking at each other like they're in love. And this is about as close as I got. It's not very good.
AI and Canva. We were doing pictures of women jumping in the air and whether or not their legs were attached.
Right, yeah. You have to be careful because...
You have great fun with the hallucinations of AI. But
yeah, you can see he's got like kind of a weird half hand there. And so... And this is in my podcast is don't use AI to create images yet. I wanted to see if it's gotten any better. It has not. So that's one place. Though I do have somebody who I follow who I really respect. She is using one of those kind of higher end where you upload your own image and then it puts you in different scenes. And she's doing it very, very well. And I need to talk to her about what applications she's using. But she's the only one I've seen who's done this effectively.
She uses the background and she's really
cool.
The things that she's shown us, it's very sophisticated versus the hands, 6 fingers.
Yeah. And there's a huge, an incredibly interesting world of like, how do I mix my art with AI, with photography, especially for photographers, right? I think people are more willing to say, I don't want me changed, but I'm okay with my backdrop being changed and maybe a little something. You know, I mean, we've been doing that for a long time, right? And so... Yeah, AI is way better than Botox, exactly. I just upgraded to the new version of Lightroom, which if you're not a photographer is sort of one of the tools that a lot of photographers use. And I got a new computer that can actually handle Lightroom. So they have these AI like portrait, glamour photo, right? Glamour portrait filters. And I'm like, I used to spend hours doing this. And I edited some headshots the other day. It took me like 10 minutes where it would have taken me 3 hours. I was like, wow. And it's all, all AI based. So, all right, recap. 5 growth hacks for 2025. First is get obsessed with being of service to your clients. The second is to make it personal. Third, create a consistent visibility strategy. Don't do anything or start anything that you know you can't be consistent at. Make it easy to do business with you and fall in love with AI. So, couple things that I wanted to share with you about how you could work with me. This is the podcast that I mentioned. I just started yesterday. It's actually a vodcast. This is the vodcast that I was trying to do in here, but I couldn't soundproof the space. But it is called Heart of the Hustle. And the idea is it's a done-for-you marketing service that is disguised as a podcast. So I've had lots of people come and say, I just can't like stand up with a camera and be like, hey, here I am at my studio doing blah, 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 right? Like 99% of us can't do that, right? I can do that. I'm a trained improv actress. I can do that. But most people can't. So they're all like, can you just sit me down and interview me? Can you just interview me and then we'll have content? I'm like, yes. So I created a whole studio to do just that. So I interview entrepreneurs and then I chop up all of their interview into reels. So you get like 10 reels with the captions. You can get the full video. I'll write you an SEO-enabled blog. I'll write you an email for your email base, all that stuff. So just launched yesterday. This is the inside of the studio. This is our first episode. We've already been featured on a bunch of news places, which I haven't even announced that yet. It's been too busy. Yay, thank you. So super excited about this.
Releases and
yeah.
He's like, okay, both.
Yep. Yeah, it's really easy to get those. Like you literally pay $100 and do a press release and send it out. Like I should have done the more expensive one and gotten to more news outlets, but this, I still got them. So, hey. And then this is a little bit, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, that's primarily what I do is work with people one-on-one. I have a few courses, but for the most part, I believe that every marketing plan should be individualized to the person and how are you being of service versus the next person, and it's all very individualized. So I do mostly one-on-one coaching. But I do have a little freebie for you today. This is a no-stress marketing plan. If you're interested in downloading it, there's a QR code there. And it's just a simple 3-step system to attract clients without overwhelm. So feel free to download that if that sounds interesting. And who has questions? Thanks. I'm very lucky. I have a friend who is like we met in networking years ago. I think like 10 years ago. And she was a photographer. I was a photographer. She left photography to go into marketing. I had been in marketing. Then she became a realtor, right? And then I started this business. And we've just sort of stayed in touch this whole time. Well, when I started this business 4 years ago, she was starting her real estate business, and we both were like, we need pictures. We need pictures. We need pictures. We need pictures. So we get a studio for 3 hours. We go together and we take each other's pictures, hand each other the card, and then we just, edit our own images and stuff. And so it's been a great partnership. So I'm very, very fortunate that I have a lot of really good photography. One of the things when it comes to, like, we talk about making it personal, you got to have good photography, either photography or videography. You really need video, whether it's like sitting down and doing something like Heart of the Hustle, where I interview you or you come hang out in the studio and create your own content, or at least really good, very authentic photography, because it's real important. But people want to see your face. They want to know who they're doing business with. So, what else? Helpful?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, good.